Hey there, Toonami faithful, and welcome aboard Toonami Absolution, where we talk about the shows that made us us and the shows that made you you. Once again, we are your hosts. My name is Alyx.
I'm Sam.
And I'm John, YuYu Hakusho episode 19, Suzaku, Leader of the Beasts. Japan got it February 20th, 93. US, June 29th, 2002. And episode 20, Seven Ways to Die. Not in the West, just in general. Japan, February 27th, 1993. And the US, July 6th, 2002.
It's time for Twink Boss.
It's time for Suzaku, and it's time for a fight that's going to go over 3 whole episodes.
The longest fight we've had so far.
Yes, and one where it's kind of interesting, like how well Yusuke kind of holds up. I mean, he gets annihilated like everybody else in this, except for maybe Kurama probably comes. No, Hiei comes out the best. But yeah, Yusuke holds himself pretty well.
Yeah. He gets like electroshocked and punched in the face a couple of times.
Speaking of Kurama not coming out as well, like to be fair, he was fighting all those like vegetable guys very quickly. So I don't think he was as injured as he said he was. I think he might have been messing with us.
So to the vegetable guy point, does Suzuka have basically an army of bio Broly's?
Yes.
Yeah, but skinny bio Broly.
Well, sure, not as jacked, but
skinny
yeah.
and with like kind of dreadlocky hair.
Yeah.
JoJo Part 5 bio Broly's, not Stardust Crusaders bio Broly.
Yeah.
They're more bio than Broly, these guys though. I do love how when we ever cut back to them, they're doing the same 3 animations repeatedly. Like we see the Rose Whip like 3 times. It does give the impression these guys are here just spamming their like combo repeatedly. It's like just XX square, XX square. Don't need any other moves when you have XX square.
It's a Dynasty Warriors fight.
Exactly.
Warriors fight.
Lu Bu has left the battlefield.
But it's a fun Dynasty Warriors fight, and I just needed to throw that out there. Kurama is doing just fine. I don't see any blood on him, no cuts, no nothing. He's been okay for the past like 2 demons. He just didn't want to deal with it.
He kind of like it's the most like coming off that first fight. He's like, I'm hurt. I can't. It's just like, are you? Are you? Like, are you sure?
His pride is hurt.
I think you're just messing with us because you're a 400-year-old fox demon, you bitch.
Yeah.
I think it's because they didn't praise him enough after his fight. It's like, okay, I'm not going to fight anymore if you don't say nice things about me.
Hiei was glazing him for episodes.
Yeah, but Hiei doesn't count. He needs the 2 humans to it. I'm glad he's like finally fighting it, like because like here's the 2 guys with weapons who are good against zombies actually doing something.
And then Kuwabara is just punching the zombies in the face, Chris Redfield style.
Yeah. Well, that's his style too, right?
I was like, my note for when they zombies come, it's like, a mob of random dudes. Kuwabara's like, this is like activating his special terrain. It's like, yeah, this is normal. Like one-on-one fights are the rarity for him.
You've activated my trap card.
Yeah. I do love how like singularly driven he is to get back to his lover. Which is to say, Yusuke, like, I'm gonna scale this stone wall, just try and stop it.
Get you a man who looks at you like Kuwabara, you looks at Yusuke Urameshi.
Yeah.
Oh, this episode has a lot of like just fun little moments. I love that the second half of Suzaku's like it's so nice. We're cutting back and forth between Keiko and Botan and the zombies. I was like, my takeaway is I love how Keiko is competent. She gets hits off, she takes a couple of zombies out, she tricks them all in the second episode. It's nice to see that she isn't a pushover.
I think this genuinely. I don't care how many people are about to be mad at me. I think that Keiko is the most competent shonen anime love interest who doesn't get special powers at all. Like, Keiko is the most competent one who is really there just to be a love interest.
Oh, the bar is in the floor because yeah, she actually like she holds her own here. She's not special, but she does fight back. I do love when Botan mentions we're trapped. We're going to have to fight her way out. She has that gets like a little smirk for a brief second. It's like bloodlust activated.
Here's the question: who is more useful as an anime love interest, Keiko Yukimura or Tuxedo Mask?
Keiko.
Okay, yeah.
She wins one whole fight, which is two more than Tuxedo Mask. She hasn't died once yet, which is impressive.
It's true. She's hanging out with the right crowd.
One of the things, we're kind of giving them taking the Mickey out of them a bit, but one of the things that impresses me about these two episodes is how many moving pieces there are. The Keiko stuff kind of gives us a sense of urgency, like, hey man, you need to wrap this up, otherwise, your boo is going to get zombified or overtaken. And oh, by the way, everybody else is fighting the Bio Broly on Atkins below you. And oh, and look, there's a weird. I guess he's a beast. What is he supposed to symbolize? Oh, just
The,
electricity?
the Phoenix. He's
Oh,
supposed to be
Phoenix.
a Phoenix. That's why he's
That's
got the
right.
bird.
He's got the bird with hair. What's weirder, bird with hair or bird with ears? Because it has both.
The ears are definitely the weirder part to me. Bird with ears, I think, is a subreddit.
It is weird. It also means he's technically a pirate.
Sure.
I'm more confused by the English dub's voice for the bird, because again, it does sound like she's about to start teaching me how to count to 10, and I'm like, why?
Oh, Suzaku. A is for apple.
Well, they do cut my favorite bit in Japan, like in the second episode. Like, one of the reasons he delays shocking Yusuke is because the bird is flying around going, I want a bit of you, I want a bit of you, I want a bit of you. It's like, what are you? Like, Yusuke, stop this fight until he explains what this bird is.
You're like, I need to, we all need to take 5 for a second. Who is she?
Yeah.
Who is she?
We'll get back to this, but what do you have on your shoulder, man?
Who is she? And will you wait here till I get some peri peri sauce?
Ooh, the peri peri sauce. Yeah,
I'm going to roast that bird.
We are fighting Suzaku. Again, just big shout out to Jerry Jewell, freaking fetus ass Jerry Jewell voicing this character. But I like Suzaku. I like Suzaku's very kind of, this week we also are going to be talking about Howl's Moving Castle. I like his evil howl energy.
He's very effeminate, but also very punchable.
Yeah,
like
he's so punchable.
So I want to see him get absolutely decimated. I love his whole film thing because he's going about being a horror film, and it just makes him like the whole time you are just rooting for Yusuke. Like, I want to see this guy get pile drived immediately.
Like, this guy sucks. We do get some classic Yusuke ingenuity in an early part of the fight with his shoes, with the rubber soles. Somebody paid attention in science class.
Yeah, I love how they comment on that, because we also get the first spirit gun deflection here as well, where he knocks spirit gun. I love how when he comes down, he does the whole thing like, if I didn't hit that right, that would have been bad, and it has it blow the roof off. Yeah. Because a big problem you get in these kind of shows is that, okay, he's upgraded now, so the spirit gun is now useless. I like the fact they've kept it there as like, actually, no, the spirit gun could still work. This was a bad shot, but it's still a viable move, which keeps options open for the future. Like, we're not going to have a situation where it's like, oh, all your old forms are now pointless. We're going to ignore they ever existed.
Yeah, it's not Super Saiyan versus Super Saiyan Blue here. Like, the spirit gun is always going to have a place in the repertoire.
Yeah, it's again, yeah, it is nice with the shoes. I do like how that's a double feint. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm actually doing it to charge a beam behind my shoes. Again, I love how we're continuing that thing of like Yusuke is he's not the strongest spiritual fighter, he's not the strongest fighter, but he refuses to stay down, and he's cleverer than you think he is. So, and those work together nicely.
I mean, this is, like John was pointing out at the top of this is the one fight in the Beast Tower that goes for more than 2 episodes, and really only one fight. No, yeah, only one other fight went for 2 episodes. I was kind of like going back to Kurama. I was like, how many fights did the Rockman take? I was like, I guess it was just one. Yeah. He's kind of the Rocky Balboa of our little Hardy quartet. And, straight down to getting a vision of his mentor, reminding him a strategy to use by the end of this.
It's not even a strategy to use. It's just her verbally abusing him into action.
That's all that Mickey did to Rocky.
That's true.
I love the Genkai brain invasion.
Yeah.
Did we ever get it clarified? Is it a flashback? It did more sound like Genkai was just in his brain going, hey, dickhead, don't lose.
I think it's a little of both. think it's a little both where it's like she's jogging the memory of the flashback where it's like, hey, you suck. Why don't you get over here and punch me in my freaking face, you loser? And he's like, you're right. I should punch you in your freaking face, you loser.
That's all.
Again, it's why I love Genkai. It's cool that she has Yusuke's number in this way. Because I love that whole monologue she has in the second episode of like, yeah, you've never tried with anything. And it's nice because it goes back to Keiko, because Keiko has said the same thing repeatedly. Yusuke, you could be good in school if you tried, but you never try. So having like Genkai be like, yeah, no, she's right. You're a loser. Works. Such a nice character tweak for him.
Yeah, and she even goes further in saying like, you never try just in case something doesn't work out, and that is so much more pointed than I think even just saying like, oh, you never try. It's, oh, you never try because you're terrified of what happens if you try and you fail. Like that's a whole other Bart Simpson-esque kind of thing, which gives implication of he did try at some point, or he saw someone try and saw the results of failure. Like the bursting of the Japanese economy in the 1980s.
And also, love during that we get flashbacks to his mother as well. It's nice to remember, that scene at the funeral is still playing a major. Yeah, because it's been, well, I guess it's been like 6-7 months since he saw
roughly.
that. Yeah, that's not long. So yeah, of course that image is going to haunt him a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess how long has our boy Yusuke been back alive?
I think about 6 months.
6 months is the confirmed time jump for training with Genkai, but like
so maybe 7 at most.
Because he only had a week to collect the 3 items, then immediately after he gets taken to the Genkai tournament. So yeah.
6.5 months. Like,
welcome back to the land of the living, Mr. Yusuke.
Prepare to die again.
Yes.
Prepare to die again.
No, it is. Also, I just love how we keep having him in front of the screen with Keiko on it. It really does work to link those two scenes together nicely.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's like like I was saying about the sense of urgency. It's like it really puts the fire under him. It's like this is what you're fighting for. You see the zombies kind of closing in on her. It's weird. It almost makes the Botan message at the start of these 2 episodes almost superfluous, right? Because he walks into this boss fight with that playing, so he knows what's going on. He doesn't necessarily need the reminder. I guess you just kind of need the reminder that Botan knows all about this, I guess.
Yeah.
I think doesn't Kuwabara hear the Botan message as well, though?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that's to fill Kuwabara in a little bit, because we're still teasing the idea that he has a thing for Botan.
Yeah. Which will not survive the next arc. But like I enjoy a lot of the character stuff we do get with Yusuke in this fight. But that's another thing I really appreciate about the fights that we have in Yu Yu Hakusho, because it relates to this design philosophy around either if you're going to do a sex scene or a fight scene, the scene can't just be about the fight or the sex. It has to be about the characters involved in it. And I think that Yu Yu Hakusho does that so splendidly.
Yeah. Yeah. The emotional stakes are always and I guess you kind of need the reminder on the emotional stakes because as we've pointed out in past weeks, these episodes move quick. These stories move fast. Like it's I've always kind of like in the weeks we've been covering this particular arc, I've always kind of called this an informal tournament arc because it kind of is. It's like playing Kung Fu on the NES. You're going to the next level, and there's going to be another boss character. The only thing is we just swap out characters so everybody gets to show off their coolness at some point.
Yeah, and even this, like episode 1 is against Suzaku, and episode 2 is against Suzaku times 7.
Yeah.
Yeah, the most ultimate technique of all ninjutsu, the Kage Bunshin no Jutsu.
Becoming 7 of myself.
Yes. Yeah, Tien could only ever manage 4.
Yeah. What do you think, Suzaku's?
I love the fact that it's like, they're all separate. And it makes him infinitely more hateable. It's like, oh my god, 7 of this dick.
Yeah, it's the smugness, right? It's the smugness,
which I like because it does kind of set up the Genkai thing. Because Suzaku is a good mirror to Yusuke in that he is cocky and he clearly isn't trying in this fight. He thinks he's better, And they say that's why he's mocking Yusuke with the shoes. And what does he prove? Actually, no, you're not as good as you think you are. And you were so up in your own arse, you didn't realize you were being tricked. So it's a nice counterpoint.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think one of the best things about Yu Yu Hakusho, and we're going to see this kind of going forward, is that all the main villains after with Suzaku and going forward are always really great foils to Yusuke. Like when you have Suzaku and then younger Toguro and then Sensui and then we get to Ryzen and the Demon Kings, like spoilers for a 30-year-old anime, guys. But they all have aspects of Yusuke in them that Yusuke needs to kind of see and disprove and debunk. It's a very Jungian sort of
Well,
idea that's going through it.
even more than just Yusuke. I mean, this is kind of like, Fast and Furious 6, where everyone has their own like mirror analog.
Yeah. It's all about
Byakuo is
family.
kind of like Kuwabara, or yeah, Kuwabara. He is the kind of the meathead idiot that kind of charges in big and boisterous. Um, Ice Person that went out last week. Um,
Iceman.
yeah, I can't say Iceman. That's legally trademarked.
That is
Dave
legally
Frost.
trademarked.
Yeah, yeah,
Daddy Frost, is that what you said?
I said Dave Frost.
Oh,
Dave
okay.
Frost. Yeah. The he goes out, he's as lethal as Hiei. He's the only person that kills anybody from this four, right? Just Hiei's just as quick and lethal as well. I'm trying to think how Kurama and Not the Thing kind of align. I would say that they're both like nominally the strongest out of compared to each other. Maybe there's a certain amount of strategy that has to, but yeah, they're all four are reflections of each other in a weird kind of way.
What I also really liked is there's a really nice touch with Suzaku, is that we do set it in the second episode with the locker scarf thing, because Keiko puts her scarf in a locker, draws all the zombies, and then jumps them from behind with mops. Uh, is It's a really nice moment because not only does it give Keiko a really nice moment to shine, but again it pierces Suzaku's veil a little bit because he's playing stuff as, oh, I'm the director of this film, this horror film, and you sit there going, well, if you were the director of the horror film, you would know that's 101. You never saw her go in there. Like, again, it's like he's talking this big game, but in that moment, it immediately disproves he is totally not what he says he is, and he isn't as cool as he thinks he is.
It's so clever. Like that's the thing that I always have to come back to with Yu Yu Hakusho every single time. Not just how good the pacing is or like the fun shown and stuff. It's just so cleverly written to give you all these like deeper meanings, but it's still the kind of thing that you don't need to read into too deep to enjoy. It's giving you all of that on a silver platter, and it's respecting you enough to figure it out.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%.
Can we obviously dive into the weird world of Toonami censorship briefly? Because these two episodes have some weirdnesses to them.
Is it,
Obviously,
did somebody say freaking again and have it get altered?
yes,
Well, you
it
can tell me
freaking
what I-
freaking gets changed again. There's a lot of obviously mostly hells to hex here. Can't get this. But yeah, Yusuke's hold your freaking breath is changed to then hold your stupid breath, which is especially fun to me because the threat to rip out his lungs remains intact. It's like you can do that, but you can't say freaking.
Hey, there's no bad word in lungs.
Yeah, the second episode has a load of them. Like, so obviously, like, out of this whole plan, you made one big mistake. You went and pissed me off. Changed to out of this whole plan, you made one big mistake. You went and ticked me off, which I really don't like. There had to be a better word than ticked. Just made me mad would have worked, or made me angry.
Hmm.
One of the weirdest things is they leave in when Joe Suzaku says, "Oh, if you eat Keiko's heart, I'll make you into a king of demons." Toonami found that totally acceptable.
Yeah.
Except they changed Yusuke's response from "go to hell" to "I don't eat heart," as if that's the one problem with that offer. Like, if it had been her head or her feet, fine. It's just heart. It's too fatty.
Can't do it. Can't do it.
Can't do it. The iron content is too tall, is too high. You know.
I will say there is at least this is what Toonami do fix. One of the lines I don't like about the original version, his line about Genkai from "get out of my head, you old bitch," is changed to "get out of my head, you old hag," which I prefer because I don't know, bitch doesn't seem like an insult because Yusuke's like good at poking people and riling them up. I don't think Genkai would care about being called a bitch. She's like she is such a hard nose. I just don't see her caring about that. Hag feels more like Yusuke pulling on her being like a witch, kind of like his idea of what magic users are. Yeah, I just don't see her caring about petty insults in general because, well, we've seen her.
Yeah, yeah. Ever unflappable.
Yeah,
She
she'd be like,
can
hell yeah, now I'm going to kill both of you.
Yeah.
she can do that thing that Doctor Strange does where she punches the soul out of you, you know?
Oh yeah,
Like
the astral punch. Yeah. I
it's
I think I mentioned this during her tournament arc. It really they had to have saved on animation, unedited anyway, where she just same facial expression, just impassive the entire time.
this this is still pre-eyebrow Genkai too. She doesn't get eyebrows until the Dark Tournament. That's when we decided we were keeping her around.
Yeah.
Well, no, when you're fighting, you gotta go all out. You can finally afford to go to the salon and be like, I need eyebrows. I need to emote.
Sorry, I need to be able to emote. We're gonna do my big arc next part of the season.
Hmm.
It's like a puppet. You've got to stick them on. You need to change emotion. No, I do. I love the American performance of Genkai, and that is great as well because you do get the impression she's at any moment about to say, "If I was there, he'd already be dead." Like, come
Yeah.
on! I'm in your head. I want death. Come on!
I'm bored in here. This is boring. You're just a 14-year-old boy. Get some murder going. Come on, Sonny.
Yeah, your mental projection of me is bored by your lack of lethal tendency right now.
Like Kuwabara had the decency to die in his fight, so you can have the decency as well. Come on!
Yeah.
I do going back really quick to Kuwabara and Hiei and Kurama's scene. I do like that moment where like Kuwabara does his whole like javelin thing, and Kurama's like, "What are you doing? The door is open. Could you get down here?" Like he's so actually upset in that moment.
It is good. I also love when they're all climbing up each other to get Yusuke into the window, how they all have slightly different reactions to it. It's a lovely little, again, it's a lovely bit of detail animation. They have each have a different face. It's like Kuwabara's like in pain, obviously. Hiei just looks bored.
Always. Yeah.
Kurama's like, "Go get him, kiddo."
Yeah.
He's like, yeah. It's a lovely little detail that really helps set them up as characters.
It's just like, and of course, Kuwabara would be on the bottom.
I mean, he's the biggest one. It makes the most sense.
He's
Yeah,
Like
like an
you need
ox.
you need your
he weighs
Frankenstein
80
monster.
pounds.
Yeah, he's the base.
I
He is
also
the
I also just love that as a concept because it's going back to sort of Yusuke and Kurama's background. It's like they're in this magical world, but what is helping them more often is just their general street smarts.
Hmm.
like it is very funny to see how their battle royale skills are keeping them alive in Harry Potter, you know? Like I don't
Mhm.
know why it reminds me of this one D&D campaign that somebody did online where it's like the one kid that got brought in came from like a street fighting background. He's just like, "I'm just gonna punch people in the face." Like, what are you gonna do, wizard boy?
Yeah, again, I think it really works because it shows kind of how blind these guys have become by their own egos. Like, Suzaku doesn't think that Yusuke could do any of this stuff because he so has brought into himself being the number one champion, and thus he falls for stupid tricks repeatedly. Because you're not fight, you're not fighting Yusuke. You're fighting what you think Yusuke is, which always works in Yusuke's favor.
Yeah.
Yusuke thrives in being underestimated. And I like to, just to kind of relate to it, that one of the things that mental Genkai says is like, do you really think Keiko is going to die that easily? And then he gets to see like, oh no, I underestimated Keiko too. So I like that lesson goes around to all the characters.
Mhm. Yeah.
But so, but is this, are we stealing my thunder again for final thoughts, or do we have anything for final thoughts?
I love this has gotten the other order. This joke will make no sense.
No, exactly, and that's why the joke's going to make no sense. But yeah, do we have any final thoughts, my friends?
Um, it's been an interesting arc. It's been like I say, it's kind of the game of death kung fu kind of setup. Very video gamey. It's very video gamey, which we love games. So so I've appreciated it. And it's been fun seeing because this is the first, to kind of stress this again, this is the first adventure with all four of the classic quartet. So we finally get to see what the opening title sequence reflects every week.
It did take a long time for those guys to turn up. It did kind of ruin them becoming good guys. Like,
Yeah.
So same with the eye catch, where it's like Kuwabara's had the sword since episode 1. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
I
Oh,
wonder. Yeah, the usual points here of just still paced pretty good, still just really good story. I think testament to how good this is I had to go and do something after watching after the Suzaku and then come back later and do 7 Ways to Die. I spent the entire train ride to my appointment wondering how Yusuke was going to get out of this one, which is a rare thing for me to do for a show in general. Like, it's like I just couldn't. Literally, I was like, I actually ended up reshuffling my plan for the evening. It's like I can't wait. I need to watch this episode now. I need to find this out. And the fact that this show was able to do that in me is impressive in and of itself. The pacing helps. Like, it's so nicely paced, and I feel like every episode is rewarding you for sticking around. It's not messing around and wasting my time. Even if we're stretching this over 3 episodes, each episode's going to have something different and a beat to work around. Yeah, it's just a generally really fun time.
yeah. I mean, I like the Beasts of Maze Castle. I think it's a great way to set up what the show is going to become, because going back to it after watching it all the way through, you're going to notice stuff that you didn't notice before, and you're going to see some stuff. I also, again, I think that this is one of those early dub things that proved that dubs could actually be good, because English dubs have had very wildly different reputations, and especially back then in the era of the 4 kids, oh Ash, look at my donuts dubs. Like, this is kind of a proof that you could have an amazing dub in English and it can still hold true to the story. So I just wanted to kind of give a shout out for that, because I think that that's something that, your subtitle purists are not going to be as big into. But watch Yu Yu Hakusho. What are you doing if you haven't watched Yu Yu Hakusho in the year of our Lord 2026? But that does mean we have pulled into our final destination. That's right. It is time for us to say goodbye and to disembark from Toonami Absolution. We want to thank you once again for joining us and talking about the shows that made us us and the shows that made you you. We have been your hosts. My name is Alyx.
I'm Sam.
And I'm John.
And we'll see you next time. Bang.